Hi everyone, my name is Dolores Estrada. I'm going to talk a little bit about who I am, my family, and my background of my family. I am currently a single parent with four teens. They really keep me on my toes. Raising four kids on your own is a lot of work, but it actually has given me a lot of abilities to actually help other families that come into my classrooms as well. So I'm able to learn a lot through the process of being also a parent. I currently live in the state of Oregon, in the city of Oregon City. I used to live in Washington State, in Vancouver. I've left Washington for a very long time, but due to transitioning in traffic, I had to move places. A little bit about myself. I am 39 years of age. I love to hike. I just started a holistic journey. This journey is specifically just to heal my body. I have enjoyed the process. It's a lot of determination, a lot of changes. But thank goodness I don't have any major illnesses. But I just want to keep my health and a good balance in my body as that age. Um, a little bit about my educational levels. I do have a BA in early childhood education. I have a master's in early childhood education with an emphasis in leadership. And I'm currently working now on a second master's in education with a focus in curriculum and instruction. And I have really loved it. If I knew this much information was going to be given, I should have started with a master's in education. A little bit about my work. I work for the county. I really love my job because I work with mental health. This has been a really big issue, mental health. A lot of people see it as a taboo, especially in the Hispanic culture. Um, Sometimes when you start talking to families, they're like, no, I can't be going through that because that's not me. I'll get over it. But eventually it becomes a diagnosis. And when it becomes a diagnosis, you really have to take care of yourself. But the area that I work with early intervention. We help children in intervention. Yes, depression also happens with babies, and it helps, and also happens with kindergartners and Head Start as well. It's really difficult to see the families as you walk in and work with them. I think my worst case scenario is being able to just engage in a conversation with a family without that family, pouring out their hearts. Mental health is a really big issue now in our community and practically everywhere. If people are suffering, that's why we're there. We go and we help them, and we give them resources. We connect them with psychologists, psychiatrists, if they need occupational therapy, speech therapy. So there's a lot of connections. We work a lot of different areas. We mainly focus with parents who are pregnant, especially moms, that are going through prenatal anxiety or prenatal depression, which is really important. You really want to make sure that every family gets their services. It's my first year because I was in the classroom for about 15 years, and the experience is really has been very impacting to see that, even in your personal life when you see stuff, it's like it's not only you. There's so many people that are actually going through a lot more. Families that are needing adjusting, that are needing, help. And it's really rewarding to see the families overcome. And I have really enjoyed it the first 9 months of my job, which is really amazing. My home language, I speak Spanish and English. I am bilingual. When I got hired to this position, they needed a bilingual social worker. So it was really amazing to connect with the families. I work with both cultures, English and Spanish speaking families. Um, I specifically worked with the ELL learners. So when I go into these families and they also have other situations when they need support with the other children in their home, I'm able to give them the help that they need, which is really amazing because when you have extra experience in many different areas, you can actually problem solve a lot of things. At home, I speak both languages. My children both speak Spanish and English as well. They were raised with their dad and myself, but when I got divorced, my children, sorry, they were able to connect to both language very easily. My origin. So my origin is Hispanic, Mexican American. Both of my parents are Mexican. My dad is from Guadalajara, Jalisco, and my mom is from Michoacan. Both of a little. I know a little bit more about my mom than my dad's family. My dad was he was an orphan as a child, so he immigrated here to the United States in the early 50s with his older brothers. But I know a little bit more of the history of my parents, which is my mom. So my mom immigrated with all her brothers in the early 50s and 60s. All of my uncles currently live in the state of California. They've been living there since they immigrated from Mexico. They have their own families. My grandfather, which is my dad's mom, so he has a little bit of history. He immigrated in the early 40s, which is amazing because when I used to sit with my grandfather when he was alive and we used to go visit him, he used to tell us stories of how he worked during World War II. He helped supervise companies of when soldiers would go out to war. So he would organize clothing, shoes, everything that had to do with military supplies. My grandfather passed away a long time ago, maybe like 10 years ago, but his story is really amazing me because he taught us a lot about history and he saw a lot as he aged through the different decades. A little bit more about my parents. My parents resided in California for over 40 years, so they now reside in the state of Washington. They've been here for 15 years and they lived most of their life in the state of California. So that's a little bit about myself. I am really excited to learn about this class and to learn with each one of you. Thank you so much.